Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. This practice is going to be all down on the mat. There'll be no kneeling, there'll be no downward facing dog, there'll be no standing. So we're just going to be lying down, running through a series of stretches and spinal movements. That can set you up in the morning for the day ahead, or indeed this practice could also be used at the end of the day to help prepare you for a restful sleep. So when you're ready, come down onto your mat, coming down onto your back, finding a comfortable position. The legs can be straight or the legs can be bent, and just close down your eyes or lower your eyelids. Just melting the shoulders down away from the ears slightly. Maybe find a slight drop of chin towards chest, and just scooting the shoulder blades down the back a little so that your heart opens and your collarbones spread. Just begin by taking a deep breath in through the nose, and then gently sighing that breath out through an open mouth, releasing out with it anything that doesn't serve you right here and right now. Maybe a couple more times like that. And as you sigh out what you don't need, feel the body letting go of it, beginning to touch down. And as the body touches down, just give yourself permission to land and to arrive here in this moment. And then after you've exhaled out through your mouth for the third time, just close it down and seal your lips. And allow your breathing to be completely natural now. As the breath flows in and out through your nose, take a moment to relax your jaw, to soften your lips, and to smooth out any tension between your eyebrows. And just run a little scan through the rest of the body, noticing if you could just melt away any areas of unnecessary tension that you find elsewhere. And then just bringing awareness to the breath, the movement of breath as it flows in and out of your body through your nostrils. And as you bring your awareness there, just allowing everything else to fade off away into the background for the time being. As you bring your awareness to your breath, starting to attune yourself to any movements or any sensations that each breath brings into your body. And gently now, just beginning to lengthen your breaths and smooth them out. Settling into a comfortable and easy rhythm with your breathing that feels good. And just bringing both knees in towards the chest for a little hug. Nice and gentle, draw them in, keep those shoulders soft, maybe find a little gentle movement side to side if this feels good. And then bringing the feet down onto the mat to prepare for shoulder bridge. So your feet can be hip distance apart, your knees can be hip distance apart. And just scooting the shoulder blades down the back. And bringing the arms down alongside you. If your fingertips can reach your heels, just walk them away a little. And then on your in-breath, lengthening your tailbone, pressing into the feet and the upper arms, lifting your hips and peeling the spine slowly up away from the mat, gently pushing the knees forward, drawing the shoulder blades down the back, and we'll roll down on the exhale, keeping that tailbone long so you're touching down with each vertebra, and we'll flow again like that with the breath, nice and long through the tailbone, pressing into the feet and the big toes, knees push forward, sending the hips high. Starting to roll the chest towards the chin, but keeping a little gap between chin and chest, one bone at a time as you come back down again. And flowing with the breath. So your breath is guiding your movement. One last time, peeling up into shoulder bridge. And trying to keep the buttocks relatively soft, maybe pressing into the upper arms. You could even bring your elbows to the mat with your fingers pointing up towards the sky, if that helps. once you've come down that third time, maybe again bring the knees in for a little hug. Maybe once more, find that gentle movement, a rock side to side. Lovely, and then we'll bring the feet down onto the mat. You bring your feet and your knees together if you like, or you can keep them hip distance apart. Arms can come out to a T or to a wide V. Just keeping that little nod of chin towards chest here. Take a breath in and flowing with the out breath. Just starting to drop the knees over to the right. There's no need to push them all the way over. Keep that left shoulder soft. Flowing with your breath as you come back. Gently engaging your core muscles, maybe pressing the lower back down into the mat as you return, and take the knees over to the other side with your exhale. And we'll just flow from side to side gently a few more times, really feeling into the sensation that each movement brings into your body. Maybe as the knees go one way, you could gently turn your head the other way. Or you could just keep your head nice and still and central. Maybe you could press the knees together as you twist. Maybe you'll just let that top leg slide away. One more each side. And last one here over to the left. And then once you return to center again, perhaps you'll bring the knees in for a hug again. And maybe you'll find a gentle movement side to side. We're going to keep the right foot lifted and just bring that left foot down into the mat. Just interlace your fingers and bring them around the front of the knee or to the shin, and then just draw that right knee in towards the chest. Keep the shoulders soft, the back of the neck long. Keeping the breath smooth and steady. Just breathing into that area of compression that we've created in the front of the right hip. And just releasing that compression as you bring the hands behind the back of that right thigh. Again, just gently draw it in. Make sure there's no tension in the shoulders, the upper arms, or the neck. Point your right toes and slowly, using the whole of your exhale, extend the right knee so the toes start to point up towards the sky, opening up into the back of that right leg. Flex your ankle now, and as you inhale, bend the knee again. Point the toes, exhale, extend. Flex the ankle, bend the knee. One more. Extend. Flex the ankle, bend that knee. Now we'll extend the leg, and we're going to keep the leg straight as we start to slowly send the left foot down towards the end of the mat. Just pushing out through the heel gently so that left leg is active. So here we're opening up the front of the left hip joint. Keeping the shoulders nice and soft. Maybe you'll be able to take the stretch into the back of the right leg a little deeper by sliding the hands up towards the foot, flexing the ankle. And maybe if I could take a few rotations of that right ankle one way, and then we'll take it the other way. Try not to let the shoulder blades lift up away from the mat here. Keep them soft, snuggle down into the mat. Lovely. We're going to slide the hand back down that leg and bend the knee. And then just taking the left arm out to the side for a little bit of support. Just bring your right arm inside that right knee and just press that right knee open. Just make sure you don't roll to the right here. Keep that left leg active. Gently press down to the left hip and the left shoulder blade. The breath here remains nice and smooth, nice and steady. I'm going to take this into a half happy baby pose. Option one would just be to bring your right wrist around and underneath that right knee, and draw that right knee down towards your right shoulder, and then flexing the right ankle, slowly starting to kick the right foot up towards the sky. But don't take it too far. Find a comfortable place where you can still keep your breath smooth and steady. If it is available to you, you could reach that right arm inside the right knee and either reach for the big toe with your peace fingers, or maybe reach for the outside edge of the foot with the right hand. Drawing that right knee down. Lovely. Let's bend the left leg now, bringing the sole of the foot to the mat. And we're going to bring ourselves into a number 4 stretch. So just starting to bring the outside of that right ankle across and down onto the left thigh. And draw that left heel rather, in nice and close, and gently push the right knee away, and you can remain here, just breathing into the stretch. Or maybe the left foot will lift, drawing the knees in towards the chest. Finding a nice stretch here around the right hip joint. You could thread the right hand through into the gap between the legs and interlace the fingers behind the thigh. Draw that knee in a little closer to the chest. You could even extend the left leg. Keep the shoulders soft, nice and long through the back of the neck, just breathing into the stretch. Let's keep that right ankle over the left thigh as we bend the left knee. We'll bring the foot down to the mat, and then we're going to cross the legs completely. So pressing the right knee across until you can snuggle the knees together, no gap between them. Arms again here out to a T shape or maybe a wide V. And we're just going to gently lift the hips and come onto the left hip. So you can see my right hip's lifted here. And then we're going to take the twist with the knees all the way over to the left, keeping that right shoulder soft, maybe even bringing the hand to the lower back if it helps. You can let the thighs become heavy. Now you've got the option to remain here with both legs bent, or you could press the top of that right knee down a little further, taking the twist a little deeper. You could straighten the right leg, kicking the foot out. Maybe with this other foot, you could reach for the top of the foot and draw the heel in towards the buttock, rolling the right shoulder open. And just find an option that works for you. Remembering that maybes are maybe, options are optional. And keeping the breath smooth and steady. Gently releasing the top of that left foot if you had hold of it. And if that right leg is straight, you'll bend the right knee now. And pressing the lower back into the mat, engaging the core muscles, bringing everything back to center. Just squaring yourselves off. And then bringing both feet down to the mat. You have a little roll side to side here. You could bring the knees in towards the chest again if that feels good. Give them a little hug. Before we take that to the other side. So the left foot stays lifted here. We'll bring the right foot down onto the mat. And interlace my fingers around the front of that left shin. And keeping the shoulders nice and soft. Drawing the left knee in for a hug. Just feeling the area of compression around the front of that left hip joint. Lovely. And then taking the hands behind the thigh, drawing that thigh in, breath in here. And as you exhale, point your left toes and slowly extend that left leg, pointing the toes up towards the sky, flexing the ankle, Inhaling to bend the knee. Do that a couple more times. Take it smooth and steady. And just tuning in to the sensations that the movement brings. Flowing with the breath. Lovely. And then we'll extend that leg one last time. And then slowly start to straighten the right leg as well. Nice and slow. Active through that leg. Push out through the heel. Keep those shoulders soft. Maybe this is enough of a stretch for you. You've got the option to slide the hands up the back of that left leg, drawing the toes a little further overhead as though they're trying to touch the wall behind. But keep those shoulders soft. Maybe you'll flex the ankle here. Maybe you'll draw a few circles with the ankle in one direction. And then reversing direction. Lovely. And then bending that left knee again. Just taking that right arm out to the side. Left arm comes inside the left knee. Gently press that left knee open, making sure that the right hip stays down onto the mat. That right leg stays active. The right shoulder stays softened down into the ground. Let's take a couple of cycles of breath here. And then we'll find a half happy baby on this side. Again, your options are to hook your forearm, your wrist rather, around the back of that left knee, drawing the left knee down towards the left shoulder and then flexing your ankle and gently kicking the foot up. Keep pushing out through the right heel, pressing this right hip down. The other option is to reach inside for the big toe, finding a yogi toe lock, or for the outside of the foot, pulling that knee down into the armpit, staying connected to the breath. Let's bend this right knee, sole of the foot comes to the mat, and we'll steer the outside of the left ankle across that right thigh. Gently pressing the left knee forward. This may be enough of a stretch for you. Or you have the option to draw the right knee in towards the chest. In fact, I didn't cue it on the other side, but you could simply rest your foot onto a block instead if that works for you. Deepen it further by threading the hand through in the gap between the legs and drawing the knee in towards the chest a bit more. And then maybe extend that right leg. Staying connected to the breath. And just using your exhales to soften into the stretch. Final breath here. And the right foot comes down to the mat. Keep the left ankle across the right thigh. And then press the knee completely across, snuggling the knees together, and so there's no gap here. Arms can come out to a V or to a wide tin. We'll lift the hips and come onto the right hip. And then dropping the knees over to the right. You can press that right left knee down with the right hand if you like. Keep that left shoulder nice and soft. You've got the option here and to kick out the left foot, straightening that left leg. And the option to reach for the top of the right foot and draw the heel in towards the buttock. So you're getting a stretch into the front of the right thigh here as well. A couple of cycles of full breath here. And then if you have hold of the top of the right foot, release it. If that left leg is straight, we'll bend it. Bring everything back to center. Uncross the legs, and then maybe the knees will come in for a little hug. Let's bring the feet down to the mat now.
I'm going to twist the knees all the way over to the right and bring that left hand over on top of the left hand. So just going to find some spinal twists here. Keeping the knees twisted to the right as you inhale. Just opening the left hand up and out behind you. Bringing the left shoulder and the left arm completely down onto the mat. Now if you notice that the knees are separating, that's absolutely fine. Just let them do their own thing, but opening out completely. So the whole of the upper back and the left arm are down on the mat. And we'll use the exhale to close. A couple more times like that, flowing with the breath. Maybe following the movement of your fingertips with your gaze to get a little twist into the C-spine as well. Or you can always keep the head still if the neck doesn't like to be moved like that. And just feeling into the movements, flowing with the breath, and just mindful movement here. This time as we open out, we'll open all the way out, bringing the knees back to centre again. Just square yourself off before taking that over to the other side. Right hand on top of left hand. We'll keep those knees twisted left. As we inhale, opening the right arm up and completely out behind. Exhaling to close. Two more like that. We'll close one last time. And then inhale, open all the way back up, bringing the knees back to centre. And again here, maybe bringing them in for a little hug. Lovely. Feet come down onto the mat here now, and then we'll drop the knees wide, bringing the soles of the feet together. Scoot your shoulder blades down your back here, and then taking the arms overhead, making a little arrow mudra with the hands, pointing that arrow overhead behind you, keeping the rib cage soft. On your exhale, and dropping chin to chest, sending your navel back to your spine as you curl up, pointing your arrow between the knees, taking your gaze towards the arrow. Inhaling to roll down one bone at a time. And just seeing if you can just keep that rib cage soft. And there's no need to take the arms completely overhead. So you see I've got a wall behind me here, so I can't do that anyway. I could bend my arms, I suppose. Exhaling, drop chin to chest, and navel to spine, curl up. Bone by bone, releasing back down again. Just finding a comfortable range of movement. There's no real need to shudder and shake. Ribcage stays soft. One last time. Exhale, curl up. Just waking up the core muscles. Releasing down as you inhale. And then bringing the arms around to the outside of the knees. Just giving those knees a helping hand as you bring them in. Lovely. Again, maybe a little hug of knees in towards chest here. And finally, we'll find a full happy baby pose. So we did half on each side already. So again, pressing the knees nice and wide. Let the feet come wide as well. Options are to hook the wrists down around the knees, pull them down, kick the feet up, or if it's available, reaching for the outside of the feet. But keep the chin just dropped here, back of the neck nice and long and open, shoulders relaxed. And sometimes it's nice to find a little gentle movement side to side. So you can just feel the muscles either side of the spine being gently massaged down onto the mat beneath you. Now releasing once more. If it feels good, give those knees a hug. And then just preparing for a mini Shavasana. So finding Shavasana, corpse pose. Closing down the eyes or lowering the eyelids, allowing the feet to flop open, the thighs to roll open, a little scoot of shoulder blades down the back. And just allowing your breath now to be natural. Now you can spend as much time as you like here in Shavasana. Allowing each out breath to release any tension from the body so that you surrender and sink down into the support of the ground beneath you.